And we have a very special treat today. It gives me great joy to introduce to you my youngest brother. We have the same father, different mothers. Such an adventuresome life I've lived, from childhood up. And Clark lives in California, and he's here just passing through today, and I invited him to share because he holds in his being a great spark of divine light and mission. And he's been a devotee of beautiful truth and a seeker for many years and a finder. He's found a lot. So Clark, come share with the community whatever's on your heart. Nate's going to give you a microphone. I asked him to bring some inspiration here today.
Now, what do I say to them? It's so wonderful to be here. Many years ago, I think probably over 10 now, Sister Shirley said to me on a phone call, "Things are just speeding up so much right now. It's about to get really fast." And this was at a stage in my own understanding of these things that I was like, huh? I looked at my clock and I was like, I don't know. Everything's just continuing on. I get it now. Things are really speeding up. And I don't know about you all, but the last month of this life and this incarnation feels like it's been the most intense and the most sped up and the most challenging and the most confusing I can remember going through in a very long time. And one of the hallmarks of this very unique season has been this sense that it's the ones like us. It's the ones that are called into spaces like this. It's the ones that are called into leadership like this. It is the ones that are truly out there doing the heavy lifting of transformation and healing in the universe right now. It's the ones that are usually holding so steady and strong so that everybody else around them can fall out. We're the ones that it seems like really got it this time. It's all the light workers, it's all the teachers, it's all the shamans, it's all the priestesses I know that are like, what the? You want to say it again, Peg? What the F is going on here? This retrograde, this eclipse, this new moon. A couple of times these last few weeks I thought I was going to go under. And it's been an incredible teaching for me because the people I'm coaching are usually the ones going under, and I've always had this attitude of like, thank you God for not making me like them. I'm so grateful I can live a life where I can be in the boat, out of the water, helping them swim. And it was a very humbling reminder that when you've been in the boat, eventually they'll say, okay, your turn, get in the water. And so what I want to remind all of us this morning is that these are turbulent times, and the need to be aware of that so that we can approach it with gentility and grace and extreme self-care, and to remind ourselves, even in the heights of our pains and our challenges, this is not a mistake. This is not some bad luck draw we made. This is what we all signed up for. This is the balancing out of all the joys we've already felt. This is the making the way for all the greater joys that are still left in store. And what I try to remind myself when I'm in the water, swimming, salty, miserable, praying to be back in the boat, you always get back in the boat. And the stormy seas that the boats are chopping up against, they always turn into sunny mornings with rainbows. And sometimes it takes millennia to get back out of the boat. Sometimes it takes incarnations to get back into the boat. Sometimes it takes years for the sun to come back out. But what rush are you in? Because the trick is we have nowhere to go. We're in this for a very long time. And the whole art is to enjoy being in the water when you're in the water, and then to enjoy being in the boat when you're in the boat. So my prayer for all of you is that we can surrender and allow ourselves to be where we are when we are. And for me, I think the true hallmark of being the kind of people that find their way on a first week in Winchester to a space like this and hear that call or feel the call to have stayed here for all these years, to like us that come into spaces like this, we're the ones that are here to remind everybody else. We're the ones that are here to know, even in the stormiest, choppy seas, when you're in the water and going under, I may not know where my next breath is coming from, but I know the sun is going to come out and I will breathe again. And that is the faith. The sun always comes back out, and we have to believe that. I'm so grateful to be back in this space today. It was about 6 months ago now in October that I was here staying at the Land out in Gore and had no plans to come to the chapel. And something about that trip felt very off and weird. And our second day out at the Land, I said to David, I was like, I don't think we can miss chapel. David is my partner who was here last time. And we changed flights and did what we had to do and landed here. And it was the first time I'd been in this space in probably 20 years. And I got to sit here and talk into this mic and didn't know why I was meant to be here, didn't know what connection was being formed, but I knew I had to be here. And everything about that trip and that experience began to make so much more sense once I landed here. And even before I could understand it, I've always held a deep respect and reverence for what my sister does on this land and other lands, and to hold this priestly space for all of us. And what I can now understand, something happened that day that I walked into this chapel in October. It feels like a bridge has been formed, and whatever has been cultivating here, whatever's been brewing on this soil, whatever's been cultivated on this land, not even by Suelu, but by her ancestors and ancestors, that's being held here and churned up in this way, this vast energy that's kind of swirling here on Greenwood Road and spreading out to Gore. Take warning, it has spread to the West Coast. Like, a bridge has been formed, and I don't know what's coming of that bridge, but some link has been made. And the beautiful blessing of that bridge is that connection is it's already bearing beautiful fruit. And connections that I made that day, and friendships that have been formed, and coaching relationships that have begun are changing my life. They're changing other people's lives. I have been in a position to both teach and learn from other members of this community over the last 6 months that have been vital to my own growth. And when I think it's incredible, we get to come back, and the cycle of life brings us back into the same spaces, so you can go, oh, last time I was here, I was like this. Ooh, I'm like this now. Isn't this fantastic? And when I look at the growth that has occurred in my own life over these last 6 months, and to feel like a really completely different person that is looking at some really vital things in totally different, refined ways. These connections, those coaching calls, this feeling of bridge across the country for this ministry, it's at the heart of it. So I still don't know in fullness what this connection means. I still don't know in fullness where we'll all end up together. But I know that it is good. And I know that when that spirit, I wish for you all to know, my name is Clark. I am your minister's brother, and I am here for all of you. You need only ask Suelu, how do I get in touch with that Clark guy? I hold space for all of you. I take you all very seriously. If you are ever in California, if you would like to speak on the phone, if you feel any connection to what I am saying, I'm here for you. And, this is that time where we have to realize we're all in the boat together. And all of us are going to have our nights in the water, and all of us are going to have our nights in the boat. And when you're the one feeling good, when you're on one of those days where you go, I'm actually doing okay today, that means someone in this community is not. Because that's the great balance. So when you're getting your day to sit up in the boat and be dry and rest your muscles, don't forget the ones in the water. And they're often the ones that don't have the strength to reach out, that don't remember you're still right up there over their shoulder in the boat. So when you think about this community, remember the calling we each have to serve each other. It's not just Suelu here to check in on everybody. Be there for each other. Check in on each other. You're hearing every Sunday who's doing well, who's not, who's melting down a little bit. Even if it's just a second thought on Wednesday, I wonder how they're doing. They felt that. Thank you. Those thoughts go a very long way. Send a text, even pick up the phone, go visit some. My goodness, now we're really cooking with gas. So we think that our jobs are what matter. We think that cleaning the house is what matters. This is what matters. And the great trick and the great recalibration is if we focus on this, if we stay here, all of a sudden, the job and the kids and the house and the car, and it ceases to be an issue because it will flow around all of that. And it'll be really hard. And you'll call and you'll ask for help and it'll be great. So remember you're cared for. Remember the people you've never even met are holding tremendous space for you. Know that the worst is behind us. I truly do. And people back home, people I coach hear that and go, how do you know? Like, well, look back at like medieval times. Like, this is hard, but like that was harder. It was a lot harder. We have plumbing. So like anything we're facing is better. And so if you choose to look at the arc of our lives, not in terms of this 80 years, but in terms of the millions of years that we have been doing this together, I assure you, the worst is behind us. And so even if that great day 24,000 years from now, when we all back up into the divine and it's all, even if it does start over again and we have to go back down to the Middle Ages, you won't be here. And it's too far away to worry about. So just focus on the fact that you've already experienced the worst you're ever going to experience. We've been given all the tools we need in each other and in this communion to do anything we could ever need to do. And so let's just be here together and enjoy that. Before I close, I do feel called to share with you a short song so we can get some sound vibration into our sharing together. A vital part of the spiritual development work that I am doing and offering in this world right now comes through the plant medicine space. And in the plant medicine space, we have our ikaros. We have the songs that have come through the medicine over the thousands of years that they've been being carried. And we're so grateful to the shamans and the lineages who have carried these songs down so that we can remember them, and holding these songs is such a great priority in my life. And occasionally you're lucky enough that a new song comes through you. And I had one come through a month ago, just in the height of this last month of crazy pants that I've been living through. And it's been great solace to me in these last few weeks. It has no words yet. It's just a vibration, but I'll go a few rounds here, and if you begin to pick up the melody, feel free to join in. The magic of these songs is we don't understand their healing power. We don't know what they're doing. We just sing them and let them come through us and let them do their work. So I invite you to sit back and relax and just allow this one to do whatever it's meant to do for us this morning. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. May all the great ones here and beyond bless this Lord's chapel. Uphold our sweet Suelu and all those who commune here. May all the darkness give way to all the light within. And when the storms come around the bend, may we all be here with us. We love you and we thank you for all you've done for us. May we continue praying until we've returned to the dust. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. I thank you and amen. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Hope to see you all many, many times in the years ahead. Thank you. Aho.
Oh, thank you, Clark. Beautiful.